This is Qoxum AI Frontier, the story shaping artificial intelligence, work, technology, and policy. Welcome to Qoxum AI Frontier. Today, GPT 5.6 moves into long-running work, Meta launches Muse Image, Google advances computer use, and the AI race expands across agents, media, infrastructure, safety, and the workplace. Here are the 10 signals in this briefing: GPT 5.6, ChatGPT Work, Azure and AMD, Meta Muse Image, Gemini computer use, fast creative models, open fine-tuning, Claude for teachers, AI scorecards, and data center scale. The common thread is simple. AI is no longer only a model release. It is becoming a product, a runtime, a media tool, and an infrastructure decision. OpenAI's GPT 5.6 family is the lead release. Sol is the frontier tier, Terra is the balanced tier, and Luna is the efficient tier. OpenAI says the family is available across ChatGPT, Codex, and the API. The important change is that model selection now looks like an operating decision. Choose a capability level for a job, then measure the result. A frontier model is not automatically the right default. Teams also manage latency, spending, tool permissions, review capacity, and the cost of a mistake. The useful measure is not tokens in isolation. It is cost per trusted outcome. The tiered GPT 5.6 design reflects the pressure to put the right level of intelligence behind the right workflow. OpenAI describes Ultra as its highest capability setting for coordinating multiple agents across parallel work streams. That reframes the question from whether a model can answer a prompt to how a system divides research, planning, building, checking, and synthesis. Coordination can accelerate work, but it also makes task boundaries, evidence, and recovery paths more important. ChatGPT Work is the product layer built around that longer horizon. OpenAI says it can gather information across apps and files, stay with a complex project, and produce finished documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and web apps. The practical distinction is between an assistant that drafts and an agent that stays with a task long enough to deliver something a person can inspect. Long-running work makes approval design part of the product. A durable agent should show what it found, what it plans to change, what app it wants to use, and what it produced. The goal is not maximum autonomy. It is giving the operator a clear point to redirect the work before a small error becomes a large downstream problem. Agents need more than a capable model. They need a runtime that calls tools, stores intermediate results, enforces permissions, records actions, and handles failure. This is where agent demos become engineering systems. The user sees a finished answer, but the organization needs a trace of the actions, sources, and approvals behind it. Microsoft's newest infrastructure update is a reminder that the agent race has a physical foundation. Microsoft says it is expanding Azure AI and high-performance computing infrastructure with AMD systems designed for AI data work, technical computing, and production inference. One platform is becoming more heterogeneous because one type of hardware no longer fits every AI workload. Training, simulation, data preparation, and production inference stress infrastructure in different ways. A useful AI platform needs memory capacity, fast networking, storage, accelerators, CPUs, and software that can schedule the work across them. This is why the biggest AI announcements increasingly include system architecture, not only a model card or a benchmark chart. For an organization deploying agents, infrastructure shapes the experience. Response time, reliability, cost, data governance, energy use, and how many safe retries the system can afford. Frontier capability matters, but it becomes useful only when the surrounding stack can deliver it consistently. The infrastructure race is now a product race. Meta has introduced Muse Image as the first image generation model from Meta Superintelligence Labs. Meta says the product can work from complex prompts, blend multiple photos, offer presets, and accept direct drawing or markup edits. The launch is not simply another generator. It is a push to make image creation feel like a conversational editing environment. The important product change is revision. People rarely need one perfect image from one perfect prompt. They need to circle a detail, keep the rest of the context, and ask for a correction. Meta says Muse Image can preserve conversational context while making those changes. The standard becomes controllable iteration, not only an impressive first render. Meta's launch also shows why consumer image products need careful boundaries. The company updated an early feature that let people reference public Instagram accounts after feedback that it missed the mark. The lesson is broader than one feature. Powerful media tools need clear consent, understandable controls, and a fast way to correct a bad product decision. Google has integrated computer use into Gemini 3.5 Flash. Google says the model can see, reason, and take action across browser, mobile, and desktop environments, building on other tool capabilities such as search and maps grounding. The ambition is clear. Move from answering questions to completing work across real interfaces. Taking action through a user interface creates a sharper risk than simply generating text. Google describes optional enterprise safeguards that can require explicit user confirmation for sensitive or irreversible actions. That is the right principle. When an agent can spend money, change records, or send information, confirmation should be a visible product feature, not a hidden setting. Google also describes a safeguard that can stop a task when an indirect prompt injection is identified. This matters because a browsing or computer use agent consumes untrusted material from pages, documents, and messages. A malicious instruction does not need to arrive in the user's own prompt. It can be embedded in the environment the agent is asked to inspect. Google's Nano Banana 2 Lite and Gemini Omni Flash point to another important split in the AI market. Not every creative task needs the most expensive model. Google positions Nano Banana 2 Lite for high-throughput image work and Omni Flash for video generation and conversational editing. Scale, speed, and iteration are product features too. A team making a single hero image optimizes for quality. A platform serving many creators also optimizes for throughput, predictable cost, editing latency, and reliability. That is why model families keep splitting into capability tiers. The choice is increasingly not best versus worst. It is which system produces a trustworthy result at the right operating scale. The builder ecosystem is moving in the same direction. Hugging Face and NVIDIA published a workflow for fine-tuning video and image models at scale with Nemo Automodel and diffusers. That does not guarantee an easy production path, but it shows that customization is moving closer to the day-to-day media stack, rather than remaining a specialist-only research activity. Fine-tuning is valuable only when a team can evaluate the result against the real task. A model may look better in a gallery and still fail on the brand, safety, latency, or editability constraints that matter in production. The handoff from training to evaluation is where teams decide whether a system has improved or merely changed. Anthropic's Claude for Teachers is a useful counterpoint to raw capability announcements. The program gives verified United States K-12 educators access to premium Claude capabilities, teaching skills, and curriculum connectors. The product is designed around a role, a workflow, and data protections. That is often what turns a general model into a usable service. Role-specific design changes the question from what the model can do to what a person needs to do safely and well. For teachers, that includes lesson planning, differentiated materials, and classroom data. For an enterprise agent, it might mean permissions, records, and escalation. The stronger product is the one that understands its user, boundaries, and review points. Anthropic says the Claude for Teachers program includes protections for student information, and that teacher data is not used for model training. The exact policy details differ by product, but the design pattern is universal. If a system handles sensitive information, people need clear data boundaries before they decide whether to trust it with real work. An AI Age scorecard is a reminder that capability needs measurement beyond a launch day benchmark. Organizations need to track whether systems are accurate, safe, useful, affordable, accessible, and accountable after deployment. The most important metrics can be operational. How often does the agent need a human correction, and how quickly can a team discover a bad action? Frontier AI can make a spectacular demonstration, but a production system earns trust through evidence. It should show the sources it used, the tools it called, the rule that allowed an action, and the person who can reverse it. This is not a break on innovation. It is the mechanism that lets an organization safely use more capability. A good system also needs a way back. If an agent takes the wrong branch, a user needs to see the change, stop the task, reverse a safe action, or escalate a riskier one to a person. Recovery is not an edge case. It is part of the capability of a system that people can confidently use every day. The physical scale behind AI remains visible in new data center projects. Meta's Louisiana update pairs an expanding campus with local workforce and community commitments. The broader point is not any one site. AI capacity now involves construction, power, cooling, networks, and local impact. The frontier is increasingly measured in infrastructure as well as models. Put these releases together and a clear stack appears. Models provide reasoning, agents use tools, product design defines approvals, media systems create and revise, infrastructure supplies the compute, governance supplies evidence. The winner will not be the company with one impressive layer. It will be the system that makes all of those layers work together reliably. Over the next cycle, watch for 3 tests. First, whether agent products expose useful approval and recovery controls. Second, whether infrastructure providers can improve cost and reliability without hiding complexity from builders. Third, whether creative AI becomes more controllable, consent-aware, and easy to evaluate. These tests matter more than a single viral demo. For builders, the immediate decision is not to chase every new model. It is to map one real workflow. Identify the information the system can access, the tool actions it can take, the point where a person must approve work, and the evidence that must be retained. Then choose the model tier, infrastructure path, and media tools that fit that workflow. This creates a system that can improve over time instead of a demo that has to be rebuilt after every release. For operators, the most valuable question is where to place human judgment. Some work can be automated end to end. Other work needs sampling, approval, or escalation because the downside of being wrong is too high. The right boundary is not a sign of weak AI. It is a way to get useful automation without turning a model mistake into an uncontrolled business or safety event. Good operating design makes those boundaries visible before something goes wrong. For platforms, the challenge is to make complexity manageable. Users should not need to understand every model, accelerator, or safety classifier to get useful work done. But they do need understandable controls, reliable results, and a way to know what the system did. The next winners will package deep technical capability into products that feel clear, reversible, and trustworthy to ordinary teams. That is where the model race meets the real economy. The headline is not that models are becoming smarter. They are. The deeper change is that AI is becoming a complete operating system for work, media, and infrastructure. Capability still matters, but so do permissions, evidence, iteration, safety, and the physical systems underneath. That is the frontier worth watching now. That is today's AI frontier. AI is becoming a connected operating system for work, media, and infrastructure. Subscribe to Qoxum for the next clear briefing on Frontier AI.